Hey, this is the Headset Historian, and I just wanted to do a quick video today on an announcement that was made by Meta. So Meta have announced that they're releasing Meta Horizon OS. So this is the software platform that the Quest runs on that's built on Android, and they're releasing that for other manufacturers to use. So I'm assuming what's going to happen there is that they're still going to run their storefront on it and still take a cut from that, but then other platforms and other hardware manufacturers can also put their own stores on it, or they'll make money off the hardware itself. So this is a huge deal. It's being put forward by some news outlets like The Verge, for example. They're saying Meta wants to be the Microsoft of headsets, and they're also saying that Meta wants to compete against Apple. But I think the real story here is that they're trying to compete against Android XR, which is Google's platform that they're going to release or announce next month at Google I/O. So Android XR is going to be essentially for headsets what Android is for phones. Now, Meta Quest is based on Android, but it's based on the Android open source project. So Google doesn't actually have control over that. They can't control what Meta does. So the result of that is, of course, that there isn't the Google Play Store and there aren't Google services running on the headset, but it means that Meta, for all intents and purposes, does have their own operating system that they can kind of do whatever they want with. So Meta releasing this is a huge deal. I think it's one of the best things I've heard for the industry in quite a while, because we're going to have Apple, Google, and Meta directly competing with each other. So before, if Meta had just stuck with the way they were going, it would have been kind of similar to like Symbian OS on Nokia phones, things like that, where they would have been their own operating system, but it would have been quite a lot more niche and restricted, and there was a good chance that they might have kind of got steamrolled or eventually sidelined by competition. So I think them opening up to other manufacturers is a really, really good idea. So what they've announced so far is they've announced partnerships with Asus, Xbox, and Lenovo. So in the video with Mark Zuckerberg where he talks about it himself, he mentioned 3 types of headsets. He mentioned a lightweight headset that pairs with your computer to provide the best work experience. Then he mentioned a fully focused, immersed entertainment headset. And then he mentioned a fully optimized gaming headset. I think he also mentioned actually a exercise headset that's extra light. So that one makes sense. I think that'll probably be a thing that'll definitely come along at some stage. But when I heard those 3, the first one's the media viewing one, the productivity one, and the gaming one, and then I heard those companies Asus, Lenovo, Xbox, I was thinking, okay, Xbox would be the gaming one, Lenovo would be the productivity, and Asus would be the media device one. That's not actually the case. It seems that they very shortly after this announcement, Asus announced that under their Republic of Gamers headset or brand, they're going to release a performance gaming headset, they called it. And then Lenovo is going to release a productivity, learning, and entertainment headset. So that's very interesting. That means that Xbox hasn't announced what they're doing yet. What I think Xbox might actually be doing is the media viewing one, because they probably don't want to have any sort of gaming on their headset. They don't want it to be like competing with the Xbox directly. And also, if you're releasing standalone games, VR games, they're going to be compared to the PSVR 2, and that's going to kind of cause a bit of an optics thing where people are like, oh wait, the graphics in this, these are the Xbox graphics and these are the PlayStation graphics. So I think what we're going to get maybe from Xbox is a headset that is mostly built around entertainment, so like watching media and having a giant TV, and also it's going to be used for Game Pass, so you're going to be streaming the games to the headset and it'll be optimized for that, and it'll probably come with a Xbox controller in the box or something like that. So that's really interesting, and I'm really, really excited about this in general. I think this is a great move. I think having 3 competitors in this space is infinitely better. Well, not infinitely, but it's a lot better than having 2 competitors, and it means that we're going to see a lot of benefits. Like for iPhone and Android phones, there still is, and there has been for a long time, a lot of back and forth where one releases a feature, the other copies it, vice versa, and then there's this kind of ping pong of improvement until we have what we have today, which is both platforms are very mature, very usable, and anyone, I think, could happily use either phone. There's personal preference, of course, but I think it's indisputable that both are very mature platforms that are very usable. And I think we're going to see the same thing here going forward with XR operating systems, where they're going to each keep coming up with ideas and kind of merge on some sort of, bar of usability. The last thing I'm going to mention is a headset, the Pimax Crystal. So the Pimax Crystal actually runs on the XR2 platform, the same Gen 1 platform, the same as the Quest 2. So some people have been thinking, oh wow, what if this Meta Horizon OS comes to the Crystal? That would be amazing. That would be so awesome. However, I really doubt it's going to happen. The main reason for that is that these sorts of things where you're having a company that's partnered with a hardware manufacturer, I've never seen it happen where the hardware is released and then that operating system comes to it later. It's always the sort of thing where these are a partnership where the hardware is designed with that operating system in mind, and usually the company that does the operating system has some input on that, where they have like a certain specification that they want to be met. It's not totally out of the question. It could still happen, but personally I think it's very unlikely. But who knows, maybe it will happen. But if it does, that would be amazing, and that would be a huge value add for the Crystal, because it would also mean you'd have things like virtual desktop then. But I'm not getting my hopes up, and until we hear anything official, I would assume it's not going to happen. It seems very unlikely to me, but who knows, maybe it will. But yeah, I just wanted to share a quick video about that, because this is just very exciting. I think this is a huge moment for XR, and it's actually, I think it's a really big deal. And then we're going to have Google announcing Android XR next month, so Meta were obviously trying to get in ahead of that, and also announcing that they had partners too. So that was a pretty big deal, I think, to kind of throw that on the table, being like, yeah, we're not just the one headset anymore, we're working with other partners, and there's some pretty significant partners as well. Only other headset I'm mentioning is the Immersed Visor. Some people have been thinking, what if Immersed Visor is going to be using this OS? From the rumors that I've been seeing on the Immersed Discord, it seems like we're going to get an announcement next month during Google I/O, so it seems very likely that the Immersed Visor is going to be built using Android XR from Google. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. I hope that all three continue to develop and aren't abandoned Google. So yeah, I hope that they all become very well established and options that are viable, because having three is just so much better than two. The more competitors, the better, but so many spaces in tech are just dominated by two competitors, and if we can have three or more, then happy days. So yeah, just wanted to do a quick video. Hope you're all having a great day, and take care.